Hey Homespot friends, welcome back. Ready to fall in love with your front yard? Today, we're unlocking the secret to rustic, vintage charm that looks timeless and stays low fuss. If you crave warmth, texture, and curb appeal without constant upkeep, you're in the right place. I'm thrilled you're here. Let's step through the gate, breathe in the lavender, and build an effortlessly beautiful front garden together. Step through a weathered wood gate where climbing roses brush your shoulders and pea gravel crunches softly underfoot. A meandering path invites slow arrivals, leading the eye toward a warm doorway. Everything feels calm, handmade, and welcoming. Vintage charm without fuss, just honest materials and simple forms. A low border of thyme releases fragrance as you pass, while old posts lean gracefully with age, telling stories of seasons gone by. The palette is muted, textures varied, and maintenance minimal. It's an invitation to linger, breathe, and arrive home feeling quietly restored. In front of the cottage, gentle geometry replaces hard lines. Low lavender edging outlines gravel beds that hold tough, forgiving perennials. Sunlight schemes the crushed stone, highlighting soft greens and silvery foliage. The layout feels formal yet relaxed, a vintage nod made effortless and serene. Paths curve just enough to slow your pace, leading to symmetrical pockets of color and texture that thrive with little care. The Parterre looks timeless in every season, blooming in spring, structured in winter, proving elegance doesn't require complexity, only thoughtful repetition, durable plants, and a few reclaimed touches. A vintage metal wheelbarrow becomes a living memory chest, spilling seasonal blooms in joyful abundance. Nearby, a split-rail fence frames the scene while creeping time softens edges. The composition feels spontaneous and nostalgic, as if discovered on a quiet Sunday walk through an old countryside lane. Maintenance stays light, refresh plantings seasonally, top the gravel, and let time wander. The wheelbarrow's patina carries history, turning a simple corner into a focal point with personality. Guests smile, the porch feels closer, and your front garden gains a playful, hard-working heart with minimal effort. By the steps, 3 oversized pots in zinc and terracotta set a graceful rhythm. An olive provides height, rosemary adds fragrance, and ivy spills casually, softening edges. The muted palette feels collected over years, a vintage harmony that complements wood, stone, and sun-faded paint. Upkeep is simple: occasional watering, light pruning, and a seasonal refresh if desired. The trio works in small spaces, instantly elevating a porch without redesigning beds. Each vessel ages beautifully, gaining character with weather and time, creating a welcoming entry that's elegant, aromatic, and wonderfully uncomplicated. A narrow ribbon of irregular fieldstones threads through gravel, guiding steps without dictating them. Creeping thyme blurs the borders, sedums tuck into pockets, and the path feels as though it has always been there. Texture leads the experience: stone, grit, and softened edges under gentle light. Maintenance is forgiving: occasional sweeping, a top-up of gravel, and trimming runaway growth. The walkway narrows near the door, subtly focusing attention on the threshold. It's a small intervention with big impact, blending utility and romance, and transforming the approach into a tactile, vintage journey. At the curb, a slim verge erupts into a low-maintenance ribbon of native wildflowers. Daisies, coneflowers, and companions mingle loosely, moving with wind and season. The frontage softens, traffic slows, and pollinators appear, turning an overlooked strip into a lively, restorative welcome. Care remains simple: seasonal cutbacks, occasional reseeding, and mulch where weeds try to intrude. The meadow feel adds depth without demanding attention, bridging street and home with color and purpose. It's beauty that works for you and the ecosystem: natural, thrifty, and delightfully unruly in the best way. A simple timber arbor frames the entry like a doorway to a gentler pace. Wisteria, star jasmine, or grape climbs eagerly, shading a tiny bench beneath. Pebbles crunch softly, petals drift, and the air feels perfumed, an intimate portal that signals arrival with romance and restraint. Upkeep is focused and light. Guide the vines, prune after flowering, refresh the gravel. The structure weathers attractively, deepening the vintage mood. Guests pause instinctively, lingering under dappled light before stepping inside. The arbor turns threshold into destination, generous in feeling yet effortless to keep. Repurposed half-barrels catch roof runoff and overflow into a shallow pebble basin. Flag iris and rushes stand poised like tiny sculptures, celebrating rain while managing it gracefully. Reclaimed wood and stone tie everything together, making sustainability feel traditional rather than technical. Maintenance suits busy days. Check the inlets, skim leaves, trim spent growth. The water feature is quiet, reflective, and practical, turning storms into small moments of theater. As seasons shift, textures change, but the spirit stays calm, rustic, and completely at home in a vintage landscape. Swaths of feather reed grass and little bluestems sweep across the front, catching sunrise and dusk in their plumes. Reclaimed stone edging holds the forms gently. Movement becomes the main attraction, waves of texture that shift with wind, season, and light, soothing yet dramatic. Once established, care is easy, annual cutbacks and occasional division. Mixed with a few rugged perennials, the grasses carry the scene most of the year, offering structure in winter and glow in autumn. The frontage feels generous and natural, like countryside brought closer with minimal effort. A fragrant border lines the walkway, lavender, sage, oregano, and thyme brushing ankles and releasing scent with every step. Gravel keeps things tidy while silvery greens echo vintage palettes. The mailbox nearby feels part of the garden, turning daily routines into small, sensory rituals. Maintenance stays delightfully light. Shear lavender after bloom, harvest herbs as needed, and let time knit the edges. The border rewards neglect, thrives in sun, and invites touch. It's practical and romantic at once, a simple way to make arrivals feel thoughtful, old world, and effortless. A vintage-style lantern rises from a soft meadow of daisies, rudbeckia, and cosmos. As evening approaches, the post glows like a memory, while flowers blur into a gentle tapestry. Mulch rings discreetly control weeds, preserving the easygoing feel without sacrificing order. Upkeep remains manageable. Seasonal cutbacks, a bit of deadheading, and routine checks on the light. The street-side welcome becomes both functional and poetic, guiding visitors while celebrating a looser, rustic planting. It's a charming compromise, structure and spontaneity sharing the same front stage. A weathered wooden bench tucks beneath a small flowering tree, offering shade and perspective. A mulch carpet simplifies care, while pockets of hosta and fern add depth. This quiet nook transforms waiting into resting, a place to pause before the threshold and breathe slower. Care is gentle. Refresh mulch, trim lightly, and enjoy the changing canopy through the seasons. In spring, blossoms drift like confetti. In summer, leaves whisper. In fall, color gathers softly. The scene feels earned, timeless, and reassuring, an effortless gesture of hospitality at the garden's edge. Along the frontage, galvanized troughs form a tidy raised border. Succulents, heuchera, and dwarf conifers create layers of texture and year-round interest. The patinated metal reads vintage and practical, containing roots and weeds while turning a slim space into a composed, enduring line. Maintenance is blissfully minimal. Occasional watering, rare trimming, and seasonal top-ups of gravel or compost. The planters age handsomely, matching wood, brick, or stone. In sun or partial shade, the composition holds its shape through heat and rain, proving simple materials can look refined for years. Alternating squares of reclaimed brick and gravel lay out a simple checkerboard near the entry. Chamomile or thyme softens the seams, releasing scent as you pass. The geometry is playful yet grounded, evoking old courtyards and sunlit cloisters with an approachable, do-it-yourself spirit. Maintenance is straightforward. Brush the gravel, top up joints, and trim the herbs. Chairs or planters can land on the brick without fuss, creating a small patio that looks curated without feeling precious. The grid brings order to rustic materials, achieving elegance through repetition and restraint. An old wooden ladder stands repurposed as a trellis beside the mailbox, its rungs welcoming sweet peas or morning glories. A small gravel pad sets the stage, while blooms weave through time-worn wood, turning everyday letters into moments framed by color, scent, and gentle nostalgia. Upkeep is pleasant and light. Tie new shoots, water during heat, refresh the gravel occasionally. The ladder's imperfections become character, reminding viewers that beauty can be handmade and humble. It's a cheerful hello at the lane, simple to build, satisfying to watch through the seasons. Stacked apple crates become tiered planters near the steps, lifting pansies, pelargoniums, and trailing lobelia into view. The vertical arrangement saves space and adds whimsy, like a market display translated for home. Wood tones echo the porch, unifying the entrance with practical charm. Care is intuitive. Water from the top, rotate plantings with the seasons, and replace a board if needed. The crates weather beautifully, gaining silvery grain and history. In small front yards, this compact garden delivers layers of texture and color with minimal commitment and maximum delight. Along a curving bed, sawn log rounds create an informal edge that looks lifted from woodland paths. Hydrangea, foxglove, and hardy geraniums settle behind, their forms soft against the rustic line. Moss hints and leaf litter feel welcome, blending garden and grove in quiet conversation. Maintenance remains relaxed. Replace a round as it ages, refresh mulch, and let perennials naturalize. The edge guides the eye while keeping soil in place, proving structure can be gentle. It's a simple, affordable trick that imparts vintage woodland character without demanding constant attention. At the heart of a small gravel oval, a weathered urn rests on a low stone plinth, surrounded by lamb's ear and lavender. The arrangement reads classical and cottage at once, providing a clear focal axis that steadies the composition and welcomes visitors with understated ceremony. Care is concise. Sweep the gravel, deadhead lightly, and let the foliage knit a soft silver ring. The urn ages gracefully, collecting lichen and stories. Even in winter, the form holds strong, delivering elegance from minimal parts, a reminder that restraint can be richly expressive. And that's our rustic vintage front garden, calm, welcoming, and easy to maintain. From weathered textures to fragrant herbs and graceful grasses, small details create big curb appeal without the workload. If this inspired your next outdoor refresh, tap like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite idea. Thanks for watching Homespot. See you next time, right here in the garden.